We're going to start in a reclined seat and Supta Baddha Konasana, bound cobbler's pose. So you'll start with your feet grounded and then let your knees come out wide. Bring the blanket on top of your feet, and then you'll use the tails to come underneath your ankles, and the tails will help support the fall of your hips. So pull it tight. So when you let your knees go out wide, they don't drop all the way to the floor. And then use your blocks. I put a pillow behind you, but that might not be enough. So if it's not, you can use one of the blocks to put your pillow on top of. So I want your head to be lifted enough that you can keep your neck long. So put the pillow behind you, and then you'll lower all the way down. And then maybe press the feet away or pull them forward to help release your hips. And take your time, letting body settle all the way. Close the eyes or soften the gaze. Welcome to BodyGood. And today we're going to explore the warrior poses, all three of them, 1, 2, and 3. And in that exploration of warrior, Virabhadrasana 1, 2, and 3, we'll work to find balance and ease, even as we're being pulled apart. That's one of my favorite things about the warrior poses, is that it's very strong, and your body is doing so many different things at once that you can't be anywhere else. Both poses, legs are moving in opposite direction. In all three poses, feet and hands are moving in opposite directions. Feet are always moving and grounding down. Crown of the head is reaching up in warrior 1 and 2. And warrior 3 reaching all the way out, but always pulling apart and pulling together all at once. Push and a pull, a give and a take. An almost perfect interpretation of the balance and the chaos that this practice, this yoga practice, is really about. It's finding peace in the chaos that is life in general. And no matter your circumstances, there is always chaos, just different degrees of it. But yoga is our opportunity to find the peace that's inside of us so we can be peaceful in the chaos wherever we go, because the peace comes from us, from inside within. This exploration of warrior poses of Virabhadrasana 1, 2, and 3 is an effort to find balance and the dance with that chaos. So as we move through and find each pose, I'll tell the story of Virabhadrasana, Virabha's pose. But for right now, we'll settle into the body, into the breath, into this moment. Deep breath in, big sigh out. Twice more breaths in and out. One more breath in and out. On your next exhale, if your hands are anywhere else besides beside you with your palms facing up, bring them there now. So framing the hips as much as you can. Turn the palms to face up, shoulders are rolled back. We'll take another deep breath in and out. On your next exhale, hands come underneath the thighs, and we'll bring the knees together, grounding the feet. Just kick that blanket to the front of your mat, and then walk your feet as wide as your mat. Bring your arms out to cactus. You can keep the pillow underneath your head so long as it's not tipping your chin up towards your chest, as long as your spine is still long. Bring your arms out to cactus, so elbows bent, palms face up, and then just rock the knees left to right. We'll take a couple breaths here, bringing motion into the hips. They're probably already talking, but all warriors, except for the last one, which is a standing balance, are basically lunges. So we have to make sure these hips are ready and active for the practice ahead. Let your next inhale, bring your knees into center, plant down through both feet, and bring your right thigh in towards the chest. Hug right thigh in, and then bring right ankle to rest on the left knee. We'll find our reclined pigeon pose. So head and shoulders, whole length of spine, both hips are still rested, but the right hand will come to rest on the right knee. We'll gently push that right knee away. Keep the left foot, the left hip planted. You might even bring the left hand to the left hip crease and roll that left shoulder back. So hip, foot, and shoulder are all rooted down towards the floor. Hard flex the right foot. One more breath in. Now as we exhale, we'll lift the left foot up. You can keep the left knee bent. If you want to bring the left thigh in towards the chest, you can grab the shin or the back of the thigh and give it a nice little hug. But as you hug, make sure that that right knee is still moving away. So we have sensation in that outer right hip. Also continue rooting down through the low hip. So we're not doing a crunch, not yet anyway. Let the whole length of the spine be rested, except for the cervical spine, which is probably being supported by the pillow. One more breath here, in and out. On your next exhale, if that left foot is not lifted, with the right knee crossed, we can bring the arms out wide, lift that foot up, and then we'll come to a twist from here. So right foot will land over onto the left side of the mat with that left knee grounded. Right knee will stay up, pointed towards the sky. Find your gaze moving over that right shoulder, little twist in the neck. But of course, if that's uncomfortable in your neck, keep your gaze neutral with eyes up, whether they're open or closed. One more breath in and out. On your next exhale, we'll squeeze into the belly, lift both legs up. You can keep the cross until the legs the hips and knees come to stack, and then extend both legs up overhead. Flex out through the heels. Find your legs up, root down through the hips. So we're working to lengthen out the undersides of the legs, the hamstrings, maybe even get the stretch all the way up into the Achilles. One more breath in. As we exhale, bend the knees, flex the feet, pull the head and shoulders up and away from the mat, from your pillow. We'll find a full wind. Hold that 4 breath in and out. Next exhale, uncurl your little ball, head drops, right foot will drop. Hold on to the left knee and we'll do that reclined pigeon on the other side. Take your time. Let the left ankle ground on the right knee. Left knee flops out, not flops, it moves off to the side. Left hand can come to that left knee, right hand to right hip crease. Helps to keep the right foot, right hip, and the right shoulder rooted down. Then as we keep our torso and that right hip stabilized, we're allowed to focus our attention in releasing that outer left hip. You might even start to feel some sensation in that left glute. We'll hold here our reclined pigeon with that right foot grounded. One more breath in and out. Next exhale, we'll start to lift the foot up. You can extend the leg straight up overhead if you like, or keep the knee bent. Grab hold of the back of the thigh if you like, or the shin to help bring that left thigh, left shin in towards the chest. But remember, no crunches yet. Head and shoulders stay rested. Length of spine is rested. Hips rooted down. But we use that right leg, the hug of the right leg, to help release the outer left hip. One more breath here. In and out. Next exhale, we'll start to open those arms out wide again. Find your cactus arms, or maybe this time you find a T with both arms moving all the way out to either side. Palms are still facing up, shoulders are still rolling back. And we'll exhale, bring the knees to stack, and then drop that left foot over to the right side of the mat. Let the foot plant. Left knee stays lifted. Gaze can shift over the right shoulder, the left shoulder now. Couple breaths here in our twist, waking up the spine. Deep breath in and out. One more breath in and out. Next exhale, we'll lift those knees all the way back up, uncross, release your pigeon, both legs reach up, press the heels up and hips reach down towards the floor, or working to lengthen out the undersides of those legs. One more breath in and out. Next exhale, thighs into the chest, find your full wind pose, point through the toes as the forehead reaches for the knees, squeeze into your little ball. One more breath in and out. On your next exhale, you can roll over to whatever side calls to you. Take your time. Pause for a breath or two. And then when you're ready, start to make your way all the way up and in to your tabletop position. Take as much time as you need to get there. Bring your blocks to the front side of the mat. And that blanket roll will go across the backs of your calves. Eventually, we're going to use it to help fill up the space between the hips and the calves. So tops of the feet will rest. And find hands underneath the wrists or fist to protect the wrists, fist down, or hands can come to blocks as well. So whatever feels most comfortable, so you can find a strong table. We'll press into the floor. Gaze is between the palms. Let the hands be at least as wide as the shoulders. Pause here for a breath as we actively press the floor away. Lift the chest up and away from the shoulders. One more breath in and out. Inhale, we'll drop the belly, roll the shoulders back, find your cow. Then we'll exhale, round the spine, press the floor away. Tailbone draws forward as the chin comes in towards the chest. 3 more times. Inhale, find your cow pose, roll the shoulders back, gaze will shift up. And as we exhale, round into your cat. These last two, maybe tuck the toes under as the belly drops and we find our cow. Find a stretch of the bottoms of the feet. And then we'll exhale, untuck the toes, press the feet away, tailbone comes forward, chin into chest. One more time in each direction. Inhale, maybe find the deepest back bend in your cat pose. And as we exhale, untuck the toes, press the floor away. Find your roundest spine in your cat. Deep breath in, come back into center. Now we'll exhale, bring the toes together behind you, walk your knees wide, shift your hips back as far back as that blanket will allow. We'll find our child's pose. Keep reaching the hands away. Elbows will stay lifted. Keep the arms long. One more breath in and out. Next exhale, let's take the hands over to the left. Both hands, you can take the blocks with you if you're using them. We'll find a stretch of that right side body. Right hip reaches back. Head is heavy. And once you find right hand reaching as far away from the right hip as you can, let yourself sink and settle over to the left side. Chest rests on left thigh. Head might reach for the floor. It might hang. What does your neck need? One more breath in and out. Inhale, start to press into that right hand again. Reach the right, extend the right arm so the elbow is lifted, and then slide that left hand underneath so the gaze will shift. Little twist here. We'll pause for a breath in and out. Next exhale, take that left hand back out. And then walk all the way back to center, resting your child's pose. You can stack the palms, stack the forearms, bring a block underneath the forehead, whatever feels best. 2 breaths in your child's pose. In and out. One more breath in and out. Next inhale, we'll start to find engagement again. Reach the hands away, press into the palms. And the exhale, we'll take the hands over towards the right this time. Find your stretch in the opposite direction. Reach through the left hand, press through the left heel. So left hip is reaching for the hip. Hip is reaching for the heel as left hand reaches away. And once you find your deepest stretch, let the whole body rest over to that the right side body. Chest rests on right thigh. Head may hang or it rests. One more breath in and out. Deep breath in. Now as we exhale, we'll press into that left hand this time. Lengthen the left arm and the right hand will slide underneath. Gaze will shift under that left elbow. And find that little twist. One more breath in and out. Next inhale, slow unwind. Right hand will reach forward. And exhale. Now we'll inhale, come all the way back to center. One more stop in our child's pose. Let the upper body rest. Let the head hang and be heavy. Deep breath in and out. One more breath in and out. And then we'll start to lift the hips up away from the heels, release that blanket, roll off to the side, untuck the toes, give the toes a little tap, and then come back to your tabletop, blocks to the front of the mat or the chair to the front of the mat, depending on how much support you'll need in your practice. We're going to step into some lunges here. If you need to use a chair, you can, but you don't have to. Palms are underneath the shoulders. Come to your tabletop. Let's extend the right leg straight behind us. We'll find our balancing table first. So let the right toe stay tapped. Let's find the right hip in line with the left. So when we extend the right leg back, often we pop the hip up. We want to keep it in line. Belly is strong, press the floor away. And as we exhale, we'll lift the back heel in line with the back hip. And once again, drop that hip down, the right hip down, so it stays in line with the left. One more breath in and out. Next exhale, pull the right thigh into the chest, step it between the hands, find your low lunge. The right foot doesn't have to go as far away as it can, but take your time climbing the hands up towards the thigh and find your balance. Right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward, hands can reach up overhead. Deep breath in and out. One more breath in. Now we'll exhale. Frame the front foot with the hands, and we'll slow. Walk the hands back. Lengthen the front leg. We'll find our half splits so we can open up the underside of the right leg. We might even find some motion here. Hands can come to blocks if reaching the floor is uncomfortable. Make your arms longer with blocks. That's what they're for. One more breath in and out. Next inhale, we'll slow rock forward again. Find that low lunge. Hands frame the front foot. Step the right foot all the way back to the rear of the mat. And then we'll find that balancing table. Both hands planted, right heel lifts up in line with the right hip. Press through the foot. If you look down and you can't see your toes underneath your body, your foot is too high. So we came back to balancing table because this is a modified version of Warrior 3. So the floor is a little bit closer to us so we can feel how much strength we need in our core to help stabilize us. Keep reaching that heel away. One more breath in and out. Next exhale, right knee grounds, wiggle out the hips. Maybe find some circles. If you need to come off the wrist, go for it. Rock back, find a kneeling seat. One more breath in and out. Next inhale, we'll find center again. Reset the palms, reset the blocks, reset the fists, reset your table, and then we'll step the left leg back. Find your balancing table one more time, but keep the toes tucked for a breath or two so you can find the hips in line still. Then when you're ready, that left foot lifts up as high as the hip or maybe lower, but not higher. Keep reaching through the heel, toes point down, squeeze the thighs in towards the chest. Hold here for a breath in. Now we'll exhale, bring that thigh forward, step it between the hands. Once the left foot is stabilized, take your time, climb the hands all the way up. Let them rest on the thigh, roll your shoulders back, knees in towards each other, square off the hips and the hands up overhead. Palms together, reach through the fingers. One more breath in and out. Deep breath in. Now we'll exhale, hands down and around. Frame the front foot. Hands can come to blocks if you need. Walk them back as we lengthen out that front leg and find our half split. Release the hamstring, maybe find a little motion, whatever felt good on one side. See how it feels on the other. Two more breaths in and out. One more breath in and out. Now we'll inhale slow, come all the way back to center. Hands come back down to the mat. And then we'll step the left foot back to that balancing table and set ourselves up for our modified Warrior 3. So square off those hips, hands reach to the floor, belly strong, crown of the head reaches forward. So we pull the tailbone back. So imagine you're trying to make a straight line from the crown of your head all the way back toward that left heel. Hold for a breath in and out. Deep breath in. We'll exhale. Let that left knee ground. Wiggle out the hips. One more breath in and out. Inhale, back to center. Now we'll exhale, tuck the toes under, shift the hips back. Child's pose if you like. Or lift the hips all the way up and back. Find your downward facing dog. Press the heels down towards the floor. Pedal out the feet. Let the head hang and be heavy. Walk your feet as wide as the mat. Really dangle the crown of the head down. Eyes closed if you feel comfortable, but your face should be between those heels. One more breath in, and as we exhale, slow, settle into center. Hard press the palms into the mat. Lift the hips straight up, working to find length from palms to hips, from hips to heels. Deep breath in and out. Next exhale, heels lift, bend your knees, walk your hands back towards your feet. Find your forward fold. One more breath in and out. Next exhale, rise all the way up. Shoulders over hips and hands overhead. Let your palms touch. We'll exhale, hands down through heart center and find your mountain pose, your Tadasana. Palms will face forward. Roll your shoulders back. 2 breaths in and out. One more breath in and out. And wiggle it all out. And now we'll bring our chair in along for the ride as we find our warrior 2. We'll start with warrior 2. So bring your chair to the center of your mat. Move the blanket off to the side. And pull it back so it's just the front edge. And then we'll sit sideways. So I'm facing with my right leg closest to the chair, to the arms of the chair. So turn yourself so your right leg is facing. It doesn't matter if you're behind, if your back is facing me. Because hopefully I can cue well enough that you'll be able to follow along without seeing me. So keep both your right hand on the arm of the chair. Walk your left foot out wide. So your left toes are facing the wall and your left hip is open. So now start to wiggle that left hip back so your left leg steps behind you. As much as you can. As far back as you can, but keep sitting up tall. As you sit up tall, turn your hips to the front side of that, to where your knee is facing. So turn your chest, turn your hips as much as you can to face the right toes. And then press in, squeeze into the belly, roll your shoulders back. One more breath in and out. Deep breath in. Now as we exhale, we'll reach both hands out in front and slow pull that left hand all the way back. So we open up the chest. The left hand reaches behind you. Right hand is reaching forward. Now the chest faces the long edge of your mat. One more breath in and out. Next exhale, we'll flip that front palm to face up, then reach it all the way up overhead. That left hand will reach towards the back of your chair. Reverse your modified warrior. One more breath in and out. Next exhale, right hand comes all the way up and around back to your chair. Left hand will sweep down and around and ground on your right knee. So your chest is starting to move forward. Then we'll start to bend into that left knee if it's not already, and then step the left foot forward so it's beside the right. Take another breath in, and as we exhale, we'll just shimmy those legs around. So we switch sides. So now we'll scoop back so that left leg is closest to the chair. Left hand will ground. Both feet are facing forward to start. Roll your shoulders back, sit up tall. And then we'll take that right foot out to the side first. And find that first position of that right hip open, right toes face wide. And then we'll keep working it back until we get as far back as we can. Keep the hip heel grounded, the toes still face out to the side. Now we keep the chest facing forward. Reach both hands out in front. And now the right hand will slow peel back and open. Both palms face down, modified warrior two on the opposite side. Shift your gaze forward. Hold for a breath in and out. Now we'll exhale, flip the front palm, lift it all the way up and back as that right hand reaches back and rests on the back of the chair or the back leg, depending on how far your extension is. One more breath in and out. On the next exhale, that right hand will come all the way back and down, left hand back and down. Right hand will sweep forward and ground on the left knee. We'll bend into the right knee, walk it out to the side first, and then back to the front side of the mat, to the front side of your chair. So both legs are facing in the same direction. Deep breath in and out. One more breath in, and as we exhale, we'll slow walk ourselves around to the front and scoot to the front edge of your chair. We'll find our seated goddess and keep getting into these hips. So walk your feet as wide as is comfortable so that your toes are out wide and the hips are as open as your body allows naturally. Sit as far forward as is comfortable on your chair. We don't want to lose our balance, but we want to make sure that the belly is engaged. So the crown of the head is reaching up when we don't want to find ourselves rested on the chair. Deep breath in and out. Now we'll inhale, sweep the hands all the way up. Let the palms touch. We'll exhale, bend the elbows. Find your cactus arm, your goddess arms, your horse arms spread through the fingers, but those shoulder blades are pulled in together to open up the chest. One more breath in, and as we exhale, right elbow will move down towards the floor. We'll find a side bend. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, side bend. One more time in each direction. Inhale up. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. One more time back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. One more time back to center. Now we'll exhale, hands all the way up. Let your palms touch. And then we'll slow hinge and fold. Lead with your chest. Let your palms ground towards the floor. One more breath in as we exhale. Press into the floor. Lift the hips. Wide-legged forward fold. Lengthen out through the legs. Let your gaze shift back behind you. One more breath in and out. Now we'll start to walk the feet in towards each other. Take your time. Stay in your fold as we close off the hips. And then when our feet are hips distance apart, we'll slow rise all the way up. Shoulders have had enough work, I think. So once the shoulders are over the hips, just roll them back. Flip your palms to face forward. One more big breath in and out. And let it all go. Now we'll move the chair to the front of our mat or use your blocks as we're going to step into our warrior one from our high lunge. And then this first warrior pose, as we find right foot forward, left foot will step back. Now, it doesn't have to be your widest lunge. Right foot will step forward, left foot steps back. Left heel will be lifted. Both hands will be on your hips, and we'll use the right hand to pull the right hip back, so right fingers edge the right hip back. The left thumb will press the left hip forward. So both hip points are square, and bend into that front knee. The front knee being bent is really important in helping to stabilize your balance. So press through that whole foot, even as you wobble a little bit, but keep pulling that right hip back. One more breath in. Now we'll exhale, hands stay on the hip. Turn your left heel in so your left toes face the upper left corner of your mat, but your hips still stay forward. Now, we might start to get some tightness or tension or icky feelings in the left hip and the left knee. If that's true, step your left foot a little bit wider. That'll give your hips more room to spin, and you can settle a little bit more comfortably into your warrior one. So the left toes face forward, right toes face forward, right hip pulls back, left hip presses forward. Arms rise when we feel ready, and balance. This first warrior is Virabha landing in a party in the center of it to wreak havoc unnecessarily. So as he lands, ground down through your feet like you drop out of the sky. All of your energy, even though the hands are reaching up, is rooted down in the feet. So that back heel, especially that back heel, make sure that it's pressing down. That back pinky toe presses down. One more breath in and out. On your next exhale, we'll release that bend in the front knee, lengthen the leg, and hinge and fold. Hands can come to the chair if you have it, or blocks. Find your pyramid pose. Both legs are long. Arms reach for the floor, gazes back. As we release this right hamstring and the left hip flexor, let your upper body dangle and drape over that front leg. The more relaxed your upper body is, the more release we'll find in the underside of that right leg. One more breath in and out. Next exhale, bend the front knee, slow, rise all the way up, hands overhead, warrior one. Deep breath in and out. One more breath in and out. Exhale, hands come to the hips. Lift that back heel up. Turn the toes all the way forward. Close off the hips. Plant down through that front foot. We'll step the back foot forward to meet it. Pedal out the feet. Wiggle the hips. Next exhale, we'll take the right foot back and do it all again on the other side. Take your time. Adjust for your balance, because everybody balances better on one side than the other, because none of us are symmetrical. So take your time, find that left foot planted, left toes forward, left hand pulls, left hip back, right hand presses right hip forward, chest rises, back heel should still be lifted and mostly straight. One more breath in and out. On your next exhale, we'll slow, drop the back heel down, turn those back toes to face the front side of the mat, but keep the hips closed. So closed hips means both points are moving forward. So as you drop that back heel, you might have to give the left hip a little bit more of a pull and the right hip press forward so we can sink in again. And once again, if you got any ickiness in that right side body, step the right foot out to the side to give your hips more room to spin. Because in the books, they say, warrior one, we're supposed to line the front heel up with the back heel, but that doesn't accommodate the shape of women's hips. Because we go out, we don't go straight down. And we have to step that foot slightly wider, sweep the arms up, belly strong, palms together. Warrior one. Plant down through the hands, plant down through the feet, hands reach up. Deep breath in. Now we'll exhale, lengthen out the front leg, hinge and fold, find your pyramid. Release of the underside of the left leg. Head is heavy, gaze shifts back. Upper body drapes over that front leg. 2 more breaths in and out. 1 more breath in and out. Next exhale, bend into the front knee, sweep the hands all the way up. Find your warrior one more time. Reach through the fingers, roll the shoulders back, belly strong. Deep breath in and out. Next exhale, hands down and around, frame the hips. Hold on tight, lift the back heel up, find your high lunge first. And then when you're ready, step the back foot forward to meet the hand, meet the front, pedal out the feet, wiggle out the hips. 1 more breath in and out. And we'll step more towards the center of our mat and find our warrior two this time. We'll start wide legs. So let the feet face the long edge, let the toes face the long edge of the mat, and we'll walk ourselves into an almost wide-legged stance. So it doesn't have to be the widest wide legs. Hands will stay on the hips. Make sure the back is long, crown of the head is up. Bring your shoulder blades together. That'll help stabilize your spine. And we'll start to bend into both knees. Turn your toes to face the upper corners of your mat. Now, we're going to turn our right toes all the way to the front side of the mat. Lengthen out through the left leg and shift your right elbow so it's in line with your right knee. So we're kind of turning the chest forward, arms out wide. Now we're in warrior two. Turn your palms to face down, reach the fingers away. Now in our warrior two, really experience the pulling apart. So we'll start from the feet. That right foot is pressing forward, almost like it's trying to slide away from you. The same way the back edge of that left foot is pressing away. Now, as we press away, dig your toes in and then pull your feet together. And we've got this you don't actively pull your feet together, but dig your toes in and it'll start to feel like your inner thighs are pulling in towards each other. That helps to stabilize your hips, stabilize the inner thighs, and make it a little bit easier for you to stabilize your torso and keep your shoulders in line with your hips. So as you have that reach of the toes in towards each other, the feet in towards each other, reach the hands away. Almost like somebody's pulling your right wrist away from your left wrist. Reach through your fingers. Crown of the head reaches up as much as you press into the floor. 1 more breath in and out. Now we'll inhale, flip the palms, lengthen out through the legs, reach the hands overhead. Exhale, warrior two. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, flip the palm, lengthen out the front leg. Exhale, warrior two. 1 more time. We'll inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, sink into your warrior two. 1 more breath in and out. Now we'll exhale, find that reverse, flip the front palm, left hand reaches down the left leg, reach the right hand back, open up that right side body. 1 more breath in and out. Now as we exhale, stay in your side bend. Right hand will sweep all the way down and around. Turn the chest towards the floor. Right hand will meet it. Left hand will meet it. Lengthen the right leg. Turn the left toes to face forward. Wide leg forward fold 1 more time. Now we'll inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. 1 more time, half lift. Exhale, fold. Last one. Inhale, we'll half lift. Exhale, we'll fold. Now stay in your fold. We'll start to bend that left knee. Turn your left toes to face the short edge of the mat now on your left side. And we'll start to rise all the way up. Take your time. And we'll settle into the warrior two on the other side. So bend into that left knee. Left hand is on the left hip. Work to get that left elbow mostly in line with the left knee. That'll help turn your chest around. And then when you're ready, upper body is strong. Start to check in with those feet. Remember, feet pull away first, press away, and then draw in towards each other. So those inner thighs are working and active. Once the inner legs are active, you might feel a little lightness in the upper body. If you do, squeeze into the belly, turn the shoulders to stack over the hips. And then when you're ready, arms out wide, reach the hands away, palms face down, and engage with the, find the pull of right hand away from left, crown of the head moving away from the soles of the feet. One more breath in and out. On your next exhale, we'll flip the front palm and then reverse your warrior. Take your time, reaching the left hand back, right hand down the back leg. One more breath in and out. On your next exhale, we'll start to take that left hand all the way around and down. Find that fold again. Both hands meet the floor, lengthen out through the front leg, turn the toes, face long edge of the mat. Find your forward fold one more time. Deep breath in and out. One more breath in and out. We'll inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Two more this time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, we'll fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Take your time. Stack the vertebrae. Shoulders will stack over the hips. And then we'll sweep the arms all the way up overhead. Let your palms touch. Exhale, hands down through heart center. And then let hands meet the hips. And we'll walk the feet in towards each other. Sweep the heels in, toes out, heels in, as many times as you need. Let's set up for our standing balance. So bring your chair back to the front side of the mat. Seat forward or back forward. It's up to you, whatever feels most comfortable. And we'll find our extended tabletop. That's the best way, in my opinion, to find your warrior three. So bring yourself about a step behind your chair and then find a forward fold, but make it an active fold. Plant down through the palms, press into the seat or hands on the arms of the chair. And we want to find shoulders over wrists, hips over the ankles, so we can find a press of the seat away and the belly be strong. We're going to start with our left foot grounded. So bring your left foot more towards the center of the mat. It's going to knock you off balance for a second, and that's okay. Plant down through your whole left foot. We'll just step that right foot back so the right toes are touching. Bend into the right knee and the left knee and walk your hands towards the front, the rear of your seat. So you're reaching away. Because when we start to lift that back heel up, the shoulders and the hips will rock forward. One more breath in. Now as we exhale, lift the back heel up and find the leg as long as you can. So reach the heel away, toes mostly point down. So bring the inner thighs in towards each other. Squeeze the thighs in as you press the floor, press the heel away. Lengthen out through the standing leg. Squeeze into that quad. Shift your gaze to between the hands, wherever the hands are rested, so the spine can stay long. One more breath in and out. On your next exhale, bend into the standing leg, let the back foot land wherever it is, and then reach the hands all the way up. Find your warrior one, and bend and sink the hips towards the center of the mat. Arms reach all the way up overhead, shoulders down away from the ears. One more breath in and out. Now we'll exhale. Find your hinge one more time. Reach for the seat of the chair. Lift the back heel. Find your warrior three again. Once the heel is as high as you can get it, at least hip height, maybe lower, press the heel away. One more breath in and out. Next exhale, bend the standing leg, bring the right thigh in towards the chest, and then drop the right foot down. Find a forward fold. Pedal out the feet. Whatever recovery motion that left hip needs, give into it. One more breath in and out. Inhale, slow rise all the way up. Take your time. Shoulders over hips, roll shoulders back, flip the palms to face forward. Deep breath in and out. We'll set up for the second side. Hands on the block, hands on the seat. Right foot will move into the center this time. We'll step the left foot back, not as far away as we can, of course. Walk the hands more towards the rear of the seat, more towards the back, the literal back of the chair, and then bend into that front knee. So we should be reaching a little bit. One more breath, plant down through that front foot. Now you know where we're headed. We'll start to rock ourselves forward, lift that back heel up and away. Thighs in, toes point down. Gaze is down between the hands so the crown of the head reaches away. And just like on the floor, top of the head reaches away from the bottom, the flying foot. So heel is pressing, the whole foot is pressing as the head reaches forward. We find long spine. One more breath in and out. Next exhale, bend the standing leg, let the back foot drop, rise all the way up. Find your warrior one. One more breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Next exhale, hinge and fold. Let the hands land. As soon as they do, lift all the way up and away. Find your warrior three. Two more breaths. In and out. One more breath in as we exhale, bend the standing leg. Same with the flying one. Both feet will ground, forward fold. Two breaths in and out. One more breath in and out. Now we'll rise all the way up. For one final mountain pose, arms reach all the way up overhead. Let your palms touch, exhale, hands down through heart center. One final mountain. Let the hands fall away, fingertips reach down. And then move that chair off to the side. We're all done with it. We're all done standing, actually. Bring your blanket roll to the rear of your mat. And find your hips rested on it. And we'll find our Sukhasana, our easy seat. Well, it says easy in the books, but it's not really easy if your hips are tight. So we'll find whatever cross leg is easiest for you. So with that blanket roll underneath your pelvis, it should help tip your pelvis forward so we can find a little bit more length. And with the pelvis supported, the backside of the pelvis supported. You might be able to let the knees drop down towards the ankles a little bit more. So walk your knees as wide as is comfortable, and then let the ankles fall, the knees fall on the ankles. Roll your shoulders back, sit up tall. We'll inhale the hands all the way up one more time. Let the palms touch. Let's find a seated twist. Left hand in front, turn towards the right. Left hand in front, right hand around behind you. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, rise all the way up. Release your twist. Palms will touch. Exhale, slow. We'll switch sides. Right hand in front, left hand around behind. Gazes over that back shoulder. 2 more breaths here. In and out. 1 more breath in and out. Oh, inhale, slow, rise all the way up. Release your twist. Let those palms touch one last time. One more time. We'll exhale, hands down through heart center. And frame the hips just long enough to extend the legs long. We'll find our Dandasana, our long-legged seat, and start to close these hips off. So you can stay on the blanket roll, but if it makes your knees sink down towards the floor and it feels like you're hyperextending, then come off your blanket. Sit up tall. We'll reach both hands up overhead and find a forward fold, a Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Reach the hands away, and then when you come to the edge of your fold, let them drop. Let the spine round, let the head be heavy. Release any gripping. So don't hold the hips together. Don't hold the feet up. Don't pull the chest down towards the thighs. Let yourself hang. 1 more breath in and out. Next inhale, we'll walk hands back towards the hips, roll up to your seat again. Now we'll cross that right ankle over the left. Then we'll take left hand over towards the right and right hand over towards the left. You can reach the feet, reach the feet. We'll let all the crosses pull you back in towards each other. 1 more big breath in and out. Next exhale, we'll take our time, unfurl completely, rise all the way up. Let those arms move wide, uncross the ankles, and then we'll switch sides. Left foot over right. Find that cross. Then right hand to the left side. Then left hand over towards the right. Let the upper body round. Squeeze in towards each other. And then once you get all of your crosses, let everything rest. Let everything round. 2 more breaths here, in and out. 1 more breath in and out. Now we'll inhale slow and exhale, unfurl. Everything moves off to the side. Uncross the ankles, bend into the knees, and windshield wiper the knees 1 more time, left to right. And we'll take that blanket off to the side. Keep it in the roll for now, because we're going to use it again. But this time, fold it in half so it's a long roll. And bring your pillow back in to cushion up your head. And we're going to find our Shavasana, a supported Shavasana. So bring your blocks to the medium setting or the medium setting, because the lowest setting is too low, I think. And bring it to where it might land on where your knees are. And then you'll take that blanket roll and lay it on top of your blocks so that it supports your knees. Now, if your feet are on the floor, that's fine. We just want the knees to lift so that it will release the low back. So bring the blocks first underneath the knees and then bring the blanket on top and then let the legs rest. And then you might have to wiggle the blocks around. Like when you put your weight on it, if the blocks start to tip forward or back, move them around so they rest. Because if they're wobbling around while you're trying to lay back, you're not going to be able to settle. Make sure your pillow is at least within reach so that when you lay down, first of all, go slowly, plant your forearms first, and then all the way down to your back. And make as many wiggles and adjustments to your lie down as you need. Make sure the pillow is under your head just like it was at the start of our practice so it keeps the spine long. And take as much time as you need finding yourself fully supported. I'll take a few moments letting body go once more. Let the feet be as wide as the mat. Let the toes flop out to the side. Let the heels ground. Let the arms come out to a T or to cactus, inviting the heart space to spread. Let the palms face up wherever the hands are rested. And we'll take some cleansing breaths here to start to release our practice. Deep breath in and out. Twice more breaths in and out. One more breath in and out. And while we allow body to settle in this final pose of our practice, our corpse pose, pose of rest, we'll give ourselves an opportunity to assess how our bodies feel after such a vigorous practice. The dance with warrior, all of those warrior poses, Virabhadrasana 1, 2, and 3. Very intense. And they should be. Because the reason for those poses is very intense. Virabha is the embodiment of rage, of anger, of wrath. So every pose is indicative of some sort of action in his rage. Warrior 1 is his landing. Warrior 2 is the drawing of his ceremonial sword. And warrior 3 is the thrust. As we move through those poses throughout our practice and found different ways to experience them, we still gave ourselves an opportunity to dance with our own Virabhadra, our own anger and rage and embodiment of that. We felt it in our hips, in the shoulders, the parts of us that bear a lot of the burdens of our life. But each of those poses is not about crumbling under that pressure in the shoulders and the hips, the sensations, the rising of those feelings. The practice of those poses is to learn how to ride that anger, to ride those emotions, those sensations, to find your place in them, not to let them run away. When we reach up in that warrior one, we don't reach too high that our feet leave the ground. We stay present and aware of what is happening when we land. And that transition to warrior two, that thrust is true. Even as we reach forward, we're still grounded into the present so that we don't lean too far off balance. The chest, the shoulders, the heart is still square over the hips. Heart still rooted, aligned over the root. We find that warrior three, find the thrust, the reaching away, the sword. We still have to plant that standing leg. It needs to be firm so that we're not pulled all the way off balance. And we find equilibrium by keeping our energy moving forward, back, and down. Not wild or loose. Every encounter with Virabhadra, with the embodiment of rage, is controlled, it's poised, so that we can practice finding that control and poise when our Virabhadra, our own rage demon, comes up and out. Because this practice is not about suppressing any of it, any of the parts of us. We need all of it, including the rage demon. But he needs to be poised. She, they, however they identify, needs to be poised. So we practice these poses in a controlled environment. So we allow ourselves to find poise no matter where the fight arrives. These last moments of our practice, perhaps you might consider connecting with your Virabhadra, your shadow, your own rage demon. Because if we give it a name, if we give it a face, if we give it attention, our awareness, we set our awareness to it, maybe it doesn't go loose and fly off the handle. If it has an identity, if we can identify it, it may be more willing to work with us instead of on its own. I'll call you back when it's time. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Bringing your awareness back to the space around you. The air on your skin. The earth supporting you. Begin to bring gentle movement to the fingers and toes. Point and flex the feet. Roll out the wrist. And on your next inhale, we'll find a long reach of the body. Reach through the fingers, point through the toes. And as you exhale, hug the knees and thighs in towards the chest. Give yourself a nice, big, strong hug and gratitude. Thanking your body for allowing you to come to your practice today and for all it does for you every day. And then when you're ready, roll to whatever side calls to you and pause. Give yourself a moment to reset, to settle back into this body, into this space. And then when you're ready, take your time, using as little muscle, as little effort as possible, pressing into your top hand onto the mat and press yourself up into a seat. Make as many adjustments as you need and gather palms at heart center. Recalling any intention that was set before we began. If you have a mantra or have a particular direction for your light, your love, I invite you to bring it here, bring it to your heart. We'll seal it with an exhale. I like to close our practice with the chant of one Om. If you like to join me, feel free. If not, that's okay. Inhale for Om. May we be safe. May we be healthy. May we be happy. May we ride the wave of our lives with ease. Until next time, be well. All right. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide your practice. That's all I got.